Welcome back to the channel, Anthology fans. My name is Coach, and in this video, we'll be starting a brand new card anthology series. For those of you who've been keeping up with our channel has produced a large number of card anthology episodes over Magic the Gathering and have recently started the card anthology series over the Pokemon trading card game. We have decided to add one more game for the card anthology series and keep going forward with the most popular trading card games of modern time. We will be rebooting the series over the Yu-Gi-Oh! Trading card game to where it too will have its own card anthology series once again. For many of us that play Magic the Gathering now, quite a few started out in Yu-Gi-Oh! Yu-Gi-Oh! Became a very popular game in the early 2000s and was also represented by the TV show of the same name. To this day, it is still popular and releases new card sets multiple times within the year. While it may not be as popular as Magic the Gathering or the Pokemon trading card game, it still impacted a generation and influenced many younger kids to get into the trading card game scene. So, to kick off this series, let's begin with the set that started this franchise, known as Legend of Blue Eyes White Dragon. Legend of Blue Eyes White Dragon was released in North America on March 8th of 2002. It was the first set of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Trading card game and was produced by the company Konami. The cards came in booster packs of 9 cards, which had less cards than both Pokemon booster packs, typically having 10 to 11 cards, and Magic the Gathering booster packs, which typically had 15 cards. Booster boxes were also smaller as they could only hold 24 booster packs compared to the 36 packs of the other 2 trading card games at the time. During this time, Legend of Blue Eyes White Dragon was released after the Magic the Gathering set Torment and after the Pokemon trading card set Neo Destiny, which were released in February of 2002. The total size of the Legend of Blue Eyes White Dragon set was 126 total cards. Breaking down the set, Legend of Blue Eyes had 5 different rarities. There were 82 commons, which can be recognized by the plain, foilless look of the card. This is shown on cards such as Beaver Warrior and Mammoth Graveyard. 22 rares were part of the Legend of Blue Eyes set, which can be recognized by the title of the card name having a shiny look to it. This can be seen on the card's Stop Defense. There were 10 super rare cards and 10 ultra rare cards. Super rare cards had holographic picture art to the card, while ultra rare cards had a shiny name like rare cards along with a holographic image like super rare cards. Examples of both these rarities can be seen in the card's polymerization for the super rares and Gaia the Fierce Knight for the ultra rares. There were also 2 secret rare cards that were similar to ultra rare cards but had a higher quality foil image and other shinier traits. The 2 secret rare cards were Trihorn Dragon and Gaia the Dragon Champion. Breaking down the set even further, there were a total of 72 normal monsters, 10 fusion monsters, 5 effect monsters, 36 spells, and 3 trap cards. Released within the same month, Konami released 2 starter decks that shared a theme with 2 characters from the TV series. The decks were called Starter Deck Kaiba and Starter Deck Yugi and showcased the powerful monsters popular in the TV series Dark Magician and Blue Eyes White Dragon. These decks also had a few cards that were not part of the Legend of Blue Eyes set and had different artwork of both Dark Magician and Blue Eyes White Dragon. Cards included in the starter set were cards like Soul Exchange, Waboku, Battle Axe, and Summon Skull, just to name a few. Also back in this time, starter decks cost anywhere from $10 to $15 at retail stores. Today, sealed versions of each starter deck is worth anywhere from $80 to $130. Notable cards of the Legend of Blue Eyes White Dragon set were numerous. The first card was Red Eyes Black Dragon, which was a dark dragon type monster with 2400 attack and 2000 defense. While not as strong as other cards in the set, Red Eyes Black Dragon would get some help in the next set and would later become a more versatile card in the future expansions. Red Eyes Black Dragon was also the main card of the duelist Joey Wheeler. The next notable card was Dark Magician. This is a dark spellcaster with 2500 attack and 2100 defense. It was slightly stronger than most cards in the first set and would later become a staple in many spellcaster decks since many sets later on would support Dark Magician style decks. Dark Magician was also the main card of Yugi Moto. The monster Blue Eyes White Dragon was the most powerful creature in the set. It was a light dragon type monster with 3000 attack and 2500 defense. Blue Eyes White Dragon, just like Red Eyes White Dragon and Dark Magician, needed 2 tributes to get to the battlefield. But dragon themed decks would become highly popular in most of Yu-Gi-Oh's history, with Blue Eyes White Dragon serving as the main engine for most of these dragon type decks. Blue Eyes White Dragon was also the main card for the duelist Seto Kaiba, who was also the main rival of duelist Yugimoto throughout the entire first generation series. Some other cards of note were cards such as Pot of Greed for card advantage, Monster Reborn to get any monster from any graveyard, Dark Hole to destroy all monsters on the battlefield, and Swords of Revealing Light to stall an opponent's attack for 3 turns and show their face down monsters upon activation. There was also the card Change of Heart to take control of an opponent's monster until end of turn, and also the card Raigeki, which destroyed monsters on your opponent's side of the field. Most of these notable Magic cards could only have 1 copy, as they were considered powerful cards for its time. The last of the notable cards was the 5 pieces of Exodia the Forbidden One. This was notable because if you had the 5 pieces of Exodia in your hand, you automatically won the duel. Exodia type strategies were also control style decks, as they were using other cards to stall beatdown decks by using removal cards and high defensive monster cards. Exodia strategies wouldn't become popular until the second set, with having plenty of cards to filter out and get all the pieces of Exodia. One style deck that was created during this time was a beatdown deck that used powerful 4-star monsters with at least 1700 attack. After that, removal cards were added to clear the way for a duelist to attack their opponent directly. A typical beatdown deck used 3 copies of Lejeune, 3 copies of Neo the Magic Swordsman, and 3 copies of Battle Ox, along with 1 to 2 copies of Summoned Skull. These were the 3 main monsters that did the damage. Other monsters that were part of this were 3 copies of Trap Master, 3 copies of Maneater Bug, and 3 copies of Wall of Illusions, along with 1 to 2 copies of Hain. The non-monster cards out of this deck either did damage prevention, removed monsters from an opponent's side of the field, or boosted a monster's attack. These typically included 3 copies each of Fissure, Waboku, Reinforcements, and Trap Hole. Also, the staple cards of most of these decks at the time had 1 copy each of the spell cards Dark Hole, Raigeki, Change of Heart, Pot of Greed, Monster Reborn, and Card Destruction, along with 1 to 2 copies of Swords of Revealing Light. A sealed booster box of Legend of Blue Eyes White Dragon is worth anywhere from $500 for an unlimited version to $1,500 if it is a first edition booster box. So that is all you need to know about the Legend of Blue Eyes White Dragon set. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Card Anthology for the Yu-Gi-Oh! Trading card game, and if you did, please leave a like, drop a comment, and share this video with your friends. Make sure you also get to check out the Card Anthology episodes of both Magic the Gathering and the Pokemon trading card game by clicking on the links below in the video description. You can follow us on Twitter by going to @thecardbazaarCC and see what we're up to for our next upcoming projects. Our next episode in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Series will be over the second set Metal Raiders, so be on the lookout for that episode in the future. That is all I have, everyone. Coach over here signing out, and I will see you guys next time.